I'm just hoping he'll retire. Well, not really, but anyway, I'm hoping he'll retire. Tell us what you're going to do.
Popular question at the moment. I think easiest way to answer that is if you'd asked me 15 years ago.
Did you know Adrian Newey, the Formula One genius, is also a licensed pilot? Throughout his journey, he's known for his innovative concepts and designed championship-winning iconic cars for Williams, McLaren, and Red Bull Racing. But why did Adrian Newey leave Red Bull Racing? Let's find out. Adrian Newey, the person who designs the iconic cars for Red Bull's racing team, might leave soon. He's really good at his job and has helped Red Bull win a lot of races. But lately, he hasn't been working there because of some problems with his boss. Newey has been at Red Bull since 2006, just 1 year after they started racing. Since then, he's made cars that won 7 big championships for Red Bull. Not to forget, other racing teams also want him to work for them because he's so good. If he leaves Red Bull, it will be a big loss for them. Newey wrote an autobiography titled How to Build a Car, offering insights into his life, career, and the struggles of Formula One car design. In 2016, Newey was awarded an OBE, Officer of the Order of the British Empire, for his services to motorsport. Now, Newey has decided to leave Red Bull after working there for about 20 years. During his time there, he's been a very important person in designing cars that helped drivers like Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen win lots of races for Red Bull. The news that Newey might leave was first told by a German magazine, and later confirmed by another racing website.
Of the horrible events of Imola 30 years ago. So it was a very difficult and unfortunate day for that press release to come out. But then the Miami Grand Prix itself was strange because I was there in a strategy function, hence being on the pit wall, but I wasn't involved in any of the engineering decisions or in any of the engineering meetings. I was just being wheeled around for press, basically. And
Red Bull said that Newey will leave sometime in 2025, and this might give him a chance to work with other famous drivers like Lewis Hamilton or Fernando Alonso in the future. If Newey leaves, people will start to wonder what might happen to Red Bull's racing team. Although they've been having some issues lately, and losing someone like Newey could make things even harder for them. Some people also think that if Newey leaves, it might make Max Verstappen, to the team keeping the world champion. The Dutchman's future with Red Bull is already under question, although he's contracted until 2028, but the loss of Newey would represent serious cause for him to consider a new course.
I am from Red Bull. We would very much like you to join. Here is my card. You will ring me. Am I making the right?
Newey has worked with other racing teams before joining Red Bull, but now after being at Red Bull for so long, he's thinking of leaving because of some problems he's been having there. Even though it's surprising that Newey might leave, it kind of makes sense when you look at everything that's been happening recently. Last week, many reports said that Adrian Newey might leave Red Bull because of some problems with his boss, Christian Horner, but Red Bull knew for a long time that Newey might leave. Newey didn't feel good about what was happening at Red Bull this year. Before the racing season started, there was an investigation into Horner's behavior by Red Bull's parent company. Someone said that Horner was being too bossy and controlling. Horner said that he didn't do anything wrong, and the investigation agreed with him. But the person who complained is still not happy and might take the case to court if they don't win the appeal. Red Bull hasn't said anything about Newey leaving. Since the news about Horner came out, Red Bull has been having a lot of problems. Some people in the company are fighting for power, especially after one of the company's founders died. This fighting has caused disagreements between Verstappen's dad, Jos, and Helmut Marko, who works in motorsport with Horner. In March, Verstappen's dad said Horner was causing big problems for the team, but Horner has support from the company's main shareholder, Chalem Ulvidia. Horner says that everything is okay now and the team is working together, even though there are still some arguments. There's still a fight going on inside Red Bull between the Thai part of the company, which supports Horner, and the Austrian part, which includes Helmut Marko. This fight started at the beginning of the 2024 racing season after an investigation into Horner's behavior with a female employee, in which he said he didn't do anything wrong. This is bad news for Red Bull, especially because they are winning a lot of races with Verstappen and their car RB20. Verstappen still has a contact with Red Bull until 2028, but he said that if the important people in the team leave, he might leave too. We don't know if his contract lets him leave if Newey leaves. Newey shared, since he was a kid, he dreamed of making fast cars, especially in Formula One. Being part of Red Bull racing for almost 20 years has been amazing, but now he thinks it's time for him to try new things and let others take over. Horner praised Newey, calling him a true legend in racing. He said, "Adrian has been vital to our success. He's been with us for 20 years, and we've won 13 titles together." He also mentioned about the time Adrian joined. He was already a star. Now he leaves as a legend. He's not just a colleague, he's also his friend, and he'll always be thankful for what he's done for them. Red Bull has become the part of the problem for Newey. He's not happy with Formula One's rules and wants to work together on other projects while still being involved in F1. he felt his role in Red Bull's success was not appreciated enough, and he didn't want to be forced to work only on a road car project. Newey talked about these concerns last year when he thought about leaving Red Bull. He could have left in 2023, but he stayed after they made a new deal. However, the problems didn't go away. The situation got worse when there was controversy around Red Bull's boss, Christian Horner, and other issues in the team. This time it seems like there's no way to make things right. In the past, Red Bull and Horner found ways to make Newey happy, like letting him work on other projects when Red Bull was not doing well in races. But this time, there's no solution. Newey has told Red Bull that he wants to leave, and they won't stop him, but it might take some time to figure out the details of his departure. He might want to join another F1 team like Ferrari. His contract with Red Bull is until at least 2025, so he might have to wait until then to join another team. If Newey still wants to stay in F1 and work on the new cars for 2026, he'll have to negotiate with Red Bull to leave earlier. But if he's really done with F1, he might just retire. Whether Newey stays in F1 or not, it seems like he can't continue working with Red Bull anymore because the problems are too big to solve.
Challenges, new things, without feeling that let the team fly. I'm sure it still can. One of the big surprises from the press announcement that came out on the Wednesday or the Thursday, was in the end, but anyway, just before Miami, was
Did you know Adrian holds the record for winning the most Constructors' Championships with 10 titles? Now Ferrari has always liked Newey, and they've asked him to work for them in Formula 1 and IndyCar multiple times. They might ask him again in 2025. Aston Martin also wanted him, but their team boss said it's not true. But after being with Red Bull for almost 20 years, Newey thinks it's time for others to take over and for him to try new things, and he'll keep working on Red Bull's RB17 car project, which he started. He won't be designing cars for Formula 1 anymore. He's also been liked by Ferrari for a long time, but he never joined them. We don't know yet when Newey will officially leave Red Bull, but they said he'll stay until at least 2025. They don't know if he'll join another team. Before Red Bull, Newey designed cars for Williams and McLaren, helping drivers like Damon Hill and Mika Hakkinen win championships. He joined Red Bull in 2006 because he liked their big plans. Newey's next move is not known yet. According to a few sources, the 65-year-old received a big money offer from Aston Martin owner Lawrence Stroll over the Saudi Grand Prix weekend. Despite his immense success, Newey has faced challenges including the tragic death of Ayrton Senna in a car he designed. However, he bounced back, continuing to innovate and produce championship-winning cars. Outside of racing, Newey's an accomplished yacht designer and has a passion for sailing. He has even designed racing yachts that have competed in prestigious events like the America's Cup. Also, he studied aeronautics and astronautics at the University of Southampton, which provided him with a solid engineering foundation for his career in motorsport. Finally, if he chooses to stay in F1 and prepare for the new car rules in 2026, Newey would need to negotiate a shorter period of gardening leave that allows him to work at another team next year. That might have happened already, or be next on Newey's to-do list, but there would be presumably nothing Red Bull could do to stop Newey from simply retiring if that is where his head is really at. Whether Newey is done with F1 or not, though, the struggles to continue with Red Bull have become overwhelming. Here's a thought to wrap it up. What's next for Formula 1 without Adrian Newey at Red Bull? Don't forget to comment down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.